Hello everyone, welcome to Studyholic, and today we are going to start History, Chapter 1, Renaissance in Europe and Development of Science. We'll finish at 10 minutes. I'll try to. Yeah. The weightage of this chapter in our 12 board exams is going to be 10 marks, and I personally think that we will get a 2 or 3 markers question for explain types or give reason anything, and 7 to 8 marks will be on objectives. So we will try to focus on that thing mainly because this chapters has like too many names and what they did, the inventions, inventors, explorers, discoveries, and etc. So yes, let's begin. The first point, crusades. Okay, crusades, we need to like have knowledge about four things. That is, what are crusades, who supported crusades, and why did they support crusade, causes of failure of crusade, and then last point will be consequences. Crusades were several wars. To be specific, crusades were 9 wars fought by the Christians in Europe in the 11th century to regain hold on Jerusalem and Bethlehem, which were under Islamic rule. These two cities, remember the names, were holy for Christians, Jews, and Muslims. So they were in Islamic rule, and Christians wanted to take control on them. So that's what are crusade, and they happen 9 in number. Please remember the number. So the next point will be supporters. So we mainly have three supporters. First one is common people. Why common people supported crusades? Because the Pope. Like in temples we have sadhus and all. Similarly in Christian churches we have popes. Though they are the religious head of Christians. What did Pope say? He said that whoever would take part in crusade would get chance to go in heaven, and all of their sins would be forgiven. So that was the reason why common people were interested in taking part in this religious war. Second were Roman emperors. Roman emperors wanted to take control over Syria and Asia Minor. That's why they supported crusades. And third were traders. Rich traders from Italy and Venice, etc., wanted to begin trading in Central Asia because it has a large population, and so they wanted to trade there, and that was the reason why they supported crusades. So 2 points are done. The third one is causes of failure. Why did crusade fail? Even after Christians fighting for that two cities in a total of 9 wars, they still remained under Islamic rule. Why? First one is attitude of Pope. Pope just wanted to have those places because of religious purposes. He didn't think about the loss of life, what people would go through just because of that war and all. So the attitude of Pope, because of attitude of Pope, people lost faith in the religious thing or God as such. And the third reason is rift between Pope and European kings. There were many controversies which led to the failure of crusades. And the last one is non-cooperation by the Emperor of Byzantine. No, Byzantium, sorry. Yeah. So the fourth point is consequences or conclusion of all these 9 wars and what did they lead to. End of feudalism. What is feudalism? Feudalism is a system where one person or military or in this case Pope controls the whole country and even interferes in the personal life of people. He takes all the decisions and everyone is just supposed to follow it. That is, boss is always right, something like that of thing. So feudalism ended because of crusades. People came to know that there is nothing that Pope is just another human, not God, that we need to listen to him and all and all. So the second thing which happened is increased trade in Central Asia. And third thing is change of European warfare. After the wars, Europeans came to know that what strategy they need to change, the bridges, the boats or whatever they need to build in order to get better at warfare. And introduction of new taxes was done by European kings because you need money. You are going out for wars. You need money for the paying soldiers, armaments, or whatever it is. You need money for that. And last one is introduction of new subjects. When crusades crusades finished, then they came in contact with other people. For example, Arabs, they learned what are their traditions, culture, their food, their dressing, new subjects, their words, and that's how the cultural, what we can say, cultural mixing happened. Mixing, yeah, whatever. Then Renaissance period in Europe. Renaissance period in Europe. It began in the 14th century and reached its zenith around 16th century. People, main thing that happened during Renaissance means change. And what changed? The thinking of people changed. The shift, many new inventions happened, and people started concentrating on what they will get rather than what they want their God to get. From God to humans, that was the shift of mind of people. That is called humanistic philosophy. And next, modern sciences were introduced, and many inventions led, that is called Renaissance period in Europe. Next point is development of science. European natural scientists laid the foundation of modern science in 17th century. That was the time when the chemistry, biology, zoology, whatever we study today, their base was laid in 17th century. Progress of science was done on a large scale. Many new inventions were happening, and some institutes were solely kept for the purpose of natural science, inventions in natural science, and such institutions as Lincoln Academy, Academy for Experiment, Royal Society for Improving Natural Sciences, French Academy of Sciences. Just remember the name, and if give reason or something comes from this section, you will leave a really good impression on the teacher or whoever the checker is. So next point is scientific inventions. A lot of inventions. So the things like compass, telescope, thermometer, barometer, etc. were invented in that period, 17th century. It's a great thing. Then Robert Boyle, he said that atmospheric pressure and volume of gas are inversely proportional or something like that. A branch of zoology, that is taxonomy, was invented or started to classify animals in a more specific or easier way. And then Melchior Franklin, what he did, he studied and experimented in the field of lightning and electricity, mainly physics. John Kay, he invented flying shuttle that is used for cloth making and things like that. Then James Hargreaves, spinning jenny. Samuel Crompton, spinning mule. Remember this, like Samuel spinning mule, Samuel spinning mule. Make little tricks, because there's everything you need to rata, there is no other option. And so Samuel spinning mule. Then Edmund Cartwright, cotton grain. Just remember this, these are the things they invented. Then the major discovery which happened in metallurgy, right? Yes, metallurgy was, they discovered how to produce steel from melting iron. So that was something which was a huge change in that field. So next is Thomas Bell. He discovered a machine which would print on fabric. James Watt, he started steam engine. And then Robert Fulton, he started steamboat, and the name of the boat was Clermont, Clermont. Remember that name. Objective will definitely come. Then we next have George Stephenson. He used steam engine for road transport. So next one is industrial. No, sorry. Geographic discoveries and explorers. So we in total have 13 explorers who discovered 13 different things, for which we need to remember them. So first one is Marco Polo, introduced China and other Asian countries in Europe. He's an Italian explorer. Remember from where the explorers are, because MCQs and fill in the blanks can ask like that. Ibn Battuta, he was a medieval traveler and visited countries like India, Africa, etc. Henry the Navigator, he was the Prince of Portugal, who encouraged expeditions which resulted in discovery of Madeira and Azores near Africa. Next we have Bartholomew Diaz. He discovered Cape of Stones and later named it as Cape of Hopes. He is the first one to circumnavigate African continent. And we have another one, that is, I guess, uh, someone who circumnavigated Earth, that is Ferdinand Magellan. Do not confuse the names of these two. Then we have Christopher Columbus, who found alternate route to India but ended up in America. So Vasco da Gama is the next, who found India and became the first viceroy of Goa and Kochi. First viceroy of Goa and Kochi, Vasco da Gama. Remember it. Then we have Abel Johnson Tasman, who discovered. एक second. So next we have is Abel Johnson Tasman, who discovered New Zealand. Then James Cook, who discovered New Zealand and Australia and prepared accurate maps. Then we have Louis Anthony da Bougainville, who reached Tahiti and wrote a book, Voyages Around the World, and later, I guess French or something, used that book to attack on Tahiti. Like, अजून काय वाईट होऊ शकतं. And next we have Americago Vespucci. He is an Italian traveler. He discovered Venezuela and Delta region of Amazon. And it is said that America is named after Americago. So next we have, I guess I left, Mungo Park. He discovered West Africa. Then next topic is Industrial Revolution. Industrial Revolution is the transition between manual production to mechanized production, and it can only happen in capitalistic economy. Capitalistic economy is something where there is importance to the people who run industries or to the people who can supply capital or money to the people who run industries. Only two people, like पैसा बोलता है, that is called capitalistic economy. And England has many economic factors or encourageable factors which led to the industrial revolution in England, and which affected adversely to colonies and even India, because India was a colony at that time. So next is economic nationalism. Industrial revolution led to economic nationalism, and it was a race of increasing the economical growth, increasing the economical background of a nation, and at the same time trying to reduce the economical status of their rivals by either increasing tax on foreign products and doing such things. The chain of surplus production in England made sure that England was doing good in the monetary thing, and this led to the limitless exploitation of colonies, which led to imperialism. What is imperialism? It is the same thing. The control of the whole country is laid in the hand of a single man. So that's it. We conclude our first chapter here, and there are just 8 questions of give, reason, explain this, or write short notes on after the lesson. And apart from those 8 questions, just go through all possible MCQs, find them in between the text or anything like that, and history will be good. Many people will try to skip this lesson, but it has 10 marks, so please focus on it. We went a bit ahead of time. It is nearly 14 minutes, so I will stop now. That's it. See you later. Have a great day ahead. Tapasya Kondevar. Bye.